Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens, and it's coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And, Charles, you look at the Ravens, champions of the AFC. Remember, they won Super Bowl 47 back in February of 2013, and they've been one of the best teams in the NFL the last decade or so, and now they look to cap off a tremendous season.
And to your point, we have to remember that Baltimore Ravens history starts in 1996 when the Browns moved from Cleveland. Since then, they've won the Super Bowl twice, number 47, as you mentioned, and also Super Bowl 35 in Tampa over the New York Giants.
Meanwhile, it took until Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles to lift the Lombardi Trophy for the first time, and not too many players are left from that squad 5 years ago, but this new group is looking to write a new chapter of Eagles lore.
Yeah, we certainly all remember that performance in the win over New England. Nick Foles throwing for 373 yards, catching the Philly special that will go down as one of the most iconic play calls in Super Bowl history. Now they're back and looking to make it 2 titles in 6 years.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of the Super Bowl will begin at the 25. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
I think we all heard about it in the offseason. There were many questions asking if Philadelphia might consider bringing in another quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts. He answered emphatically, "This is my team," and he led them to a Super Bowl appearance. A well-deserved moment for this quarterback who just kept his head down, kept working, and eliminated all the noise.
The drive will start with an option going left. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. This is brought in at the 21. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore's offense making its way out for the first time. And leading them, their quarterback, a guy who is just so electric under center in his 5th season now, Lamar Jackson.
We've seen Lamar Jackson dance all over defenses throughout the regular season, but this is the first time we've seen him stepping up to the Super Bowl spotlight. You always thought you'd see him get here at some point. In fact, On draft night, he told us he was bringing a Super Bowl to Baltimore.
A man who missed all of 2021, this is J.K. Dobbins. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go option to the short side. Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy's simply sensational.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Hurts to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
They run the option on 2nd down. And he is going to lose yardage here. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Throwing is Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Jackson fighting his tight end Andrews for the Ravens' first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and run the option left side. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Jackson now. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. It'll be a gain of 5, and now it's 3rd and 3.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. So they opted to run the ball there on 3rd down on their side of the field.
I wonder if that was a called play, or did he check into it? And if he did, that took a lot of guts because on his own side of the field, an obvious passing down, decides to run the football and he pick up the first down. Give that man a ton of credit.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. They'll run the option left. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Beating him there with his legs, 21 yards, 1st down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. 1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 7-3 the score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Ravens continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And out now come the Eagles. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurts.
It's caught. Smith breaks through the contact, and they're able to get this one across the 35.
Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll drop to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Another run here with Sanders. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
From the gun, it's Hurts. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3.
They give it off here to the tight end. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Back to throw here. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
It's showtime, baby. Let's go. Get something going. Let's go.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
They'll look to throw.
He'll drop this underneath for Gainwell.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. The kick by Elliott is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense. Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Here's Jackson.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl.
Jackson on first down. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson to throw.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
That's just what you call a chain mover right there. Nothing fancy. Get the ball out to the back, and you're asking him to make a little bit extra out of maybe what is nothing, and he does exactly that, picks up the first down. I can't wait till we get to the point, partner, where we're not saying chain mover, but we're saying laser pointer picks it up for the first down.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Again, Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Second and 8.
Now Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for Philadelphia. And not much went right in those first two quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, it's been no contest in terms of the rushing yards. You see a much, much brighter picture there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
And from his corner spot, that was James Bradbury on the defensive side.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities. And this is a good one right in front of them.
And good running nothing there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
Let's do this, man.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time. And it's 3rd down and 2.
An option handoff given to Sanders.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
An unfortunate distinction for Sanders last season. He had the most yards, 754 of any back in the league, to not score a touchdown. He's still the guy in Philly, though, and he'll get back to scoring this season. Plenty of work available for him in the league's top rushing offense from a year ago.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
It's caught by Sanders. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
A give running left. It's Sanders. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
I know at times today's NFL sure feels like everything's about the guy throwing the football. But when you got a guy who can run it and move it and gain this type of yardage, you'll take him each and every time.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Flushed out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles have cut it back within a score.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment, The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Well, I guess the coach looked at the two-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a three-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a two-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive.
The quick feet by Jackson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. The quick feet by Jackson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And that's another big-time run. And it sure looks like the leverage game is being won by the offensive line. They're the low man on just about every snap, and they're winning, pushing back the defensive front and creating great space for their runners.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson.
Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge.
We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now it's Jackson.
Open man is Duvernay. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because They handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And there's just one quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the 1st down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
They're going for it with Dobbins. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. So after the 4th down conversion, now 1st and 10 inside the 25. Jackson, option right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open.
As Sanders has it poked free. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Andrews. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Ravens are starting to pull away in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a set. Now it's Jackson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Ravens are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. He's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 27,
Hurts. This one complete down the field to Goddard.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
Hurts.
Eluding the pressure right.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Quick slant to Brown. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Towards the end zone for Brown. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 31 yards. And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock.
Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
Oh, no, he lost the football. It is picked up by the Eagles, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
You know, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Finding Watkins.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Hurts throw there, taken in by Smith.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts.
Towards the end zone for Brown. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. Over the middle to Smith. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw again. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. From the gun, it's Hurts. Now he's forced, and time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills. And it's all over. Just one is left standing, and that one is the Baltimore Ravens, your Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.